Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anglers of all ages, we're having a technical difficulty with a connection this morning, which has got the screens moving all over the place. Reshi is hiding behind there. We're going to move him back up, but we're waiting for Steven to jump back in, which will hopefully sort the frames. So we're just going to deal with that for a sec. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. Welcome, welcome. I hope you all had an incredible holiday season. This is the first angler stream of 2023, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all. It's been great watching the community over the Christmas holiday season break, however you want to put it out there, seeing the folks getting on board and banding together to find the legendary fish, getting all of their trophies sorted. It's been pretty incredible. There we go. It's sorting itself. It's sorting itself. Mostly. We don't have a picture yet. So thank you for all of that. And genuinely, from the bottom of my bearded heart, it is a pleasure watching this community grow as more and more folks find ourselves joining us here in the Angler. So welcome, chat. It's good to have you all here. We're going to head out of Norway today. We're going to go for a little fish. We're going to go after a little bit of some Atlantic salmon and get ourselves a little prize in the boat and see how we do. Mr. Rushy, thank you for coming to join me, my friend. How are you?
Hello. Yes, I'm feeling good, thanks. I'm glad to be back. 23 is going to be a busy year for us on the Angler, so yeah, keen to talk about what's to come.
Absolutely, and I think we're going to get into some of that. So don't go away, folks, when you hear some of the things coming up. How was your holiday season? Are you rested? You ready to go?
I'd always like some more time off, but yeah, I'm well rested. Spent some time with family and the kids. But I'm glad to be back at it now.
Good man. Good man. Well, it's good to have you back. I've been looking forward to this. There we go. Steven, how you doing, my friend? We got you on frame. How's it going?
Really good. Thank you, Jaxy. I'm really sorry for ruining the stream already.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay. People understand these things happen when you're in a live environment. We're all sorted, and look, everyone's looking great. All these pretty faces staring back at the people at home. Now we just got to get you in game here. I do believe you can join off either one of us. Let me see. Do I have you on my friends list? I think I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in now. I will come join you guys if you want to set off, and then I'll come join you in the server.
Okay, sounds good. Well, what do you say? We'll go jump in a boat, go see if we can get some fish brought in before we start talking too much and things and stuffs and things.
Yep, definitely.
Awesome. Awesome.
Head along this way a little bit. Faster route to the boats. I tried to shortcut and I failed to jump. You spawned the boat.
Absolutely. Let's what do we want to go with today? I think we're gonna go with the Sport Blaze because this thing's pretty sharp looking. Oof. Look at that.
Yeah. On the topic of spawning boats, I know it's a tiny little detail, but we've noticed a lot of people comment in Discord. People who have bought all the different boat skins and liveries for them, and you end up with a pretty long list of vehicles in there. So if you want to find your favorite one, you're having to scroll through the list every time to pick the one you want. So we're definitely going to be adding kind of last used category or something inside there to allow you to jump back into your favorite one. So yeah, look out for that in an update in the near future.
Where are we heading? This little island over here? Am I seeing that correct?
Ideally, I mean, there's Atlantic salmon. I mean, dominate Norway, so most spaces with some reasonably deep water will be fine. You're actually better off heading to the smaller lake in the kind of center of the map, more towards the east.
Right here.
That's the most densely populated area with Atlantic salmon.
Oh.
But yeah, if we go a little bit deeper around here, we should be able to. Just a bit too shallow right here, I'd say.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just taking a look here. Taking a look at my notes that I have on good spots. We've got a little bit of an inside skinny here, my friend. So keep your eyes glued to what's happening. Man, I have to say, I really truly have enjoyed the sights here on Norway, and I'd love to hear from you, chat. I've seen a lot of you out on Norway, and we've actually even got folks here on the map right now. And as you jump around, you're going to see everybody out there fishing. What do you think of Norway? What's your favorite species? Put it in the chat and let us know. Good to see everybody. Hello, and thank you, mods. Good to see you. Welcome, Surprising Uni. Thank you very much for coming out to help today. We appreciate it. Grabbleman, welcome right on, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, we do this every Wednesday. We've been pretty lucky. We've had our illustrious devs have been able to come and join us on the past number of streams, which is good because you get a chance to be able to get it right from their mouth on what's happening and what's coming up, what the plans are, and what's been implemented thus far. So definitely come back and check us out, my friend. Elephant in the room, we always like to address it and put it out there, but we are working towards bringing this to consoles. We just don't have any firm dates, and rather than give you a date and break a promise, all we can tell you is that it is coming along quite nicely, as Rushy's talked about in previous streams. It's just that we don't have something in concrete yet to offer. We understand you guys want to get out here fishing just as much as we want you to come and join us. So just know that the team is working hard on it. Absolutely. Norway catch rate is no diamonds, but apart from that, well, actually, while we're getting set up here, Rushy, I know it's been talked about a little bit on what's happening. Is there anything we can tell the folks really regarding diamonds? Because they are hard to get.
Yeah, maybe a little too hard to catch in Norway. So yeah, we've been closely monitoring, obviously, the feedback on the various places, especially Discord. But we've also got a lot of data, the telemetry, and analytics, and we've been looking at the spawn rates and how many catches of diamonds have been being had in Norway, and it's too low. It's too hard to catch diamonds. So we are actively working on a game update that will come out sometime during January, hopefully soon, which will address the spawn rates for all diamonds in Norway. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things that diamonds can be caught, but the odds of them kind of spawning are pretty low right now, unfortunately. So we're on it. We're aware of it. Thanks for your feedback, and we'll be looking to make it a little bit more challenging than Golden Ridge, because arguably Golden Ridge, the diamond spawns are a bit too frequent, but obviously a lot more frequent than what it is now in Norway.
Very nice, very nice. There's a little bit of info for you, my friends, and is possible, as you hear, it is possible, but not as much as they would like. So it's finding that sweet spot, you know. Golden Ridge, first map that came out, you guys know how great of an experience it is over there, and I know a lot of folks have really been enjoying Norway. And it's finding those sweet spots. We certainly don't want diamonds to be, you know, falling out of your pockets, so to speak, right?
Yeah, you definitely have got to have that little bit of rarity to make it feel special when you catch a diamond. But at the same time, I think, you know, it's so rare now. I think we have seen players catch them, but it's like we see 1 or 2 caught per day across the community, which is a very, very low number.
Well, good to know. Good to know.
I am in the reserve. I'll come join you guys now.
Welcome. We're just kind of out in the middle of the lake here. I hope this is deep enough, as you were saying. But
yeah, I think this looks like a decent spot.
Good spot. Good. Yeah, and it's certainly a picturesque spot. Those mountains up on the side there. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Art has done an amazing job, to be honest, with bringing it to life.
Yeah, I agree. I've still yet to get up and explore some of the backcountry. Oh, fish moving around here. Man, never been able to actually go for Atlantic salmon. There's so I live on the west coast here in Canada, and you know, there's lots of salmon. It's some of the best fishing. But Atlantic salmon has a big allure to it. I'd love to try it someday IRL.
What is your favorite fish to fish for, Jaxy?
Funny enough, halibut. I worked up north at a fishing lodge, and it's just the most incredible fight I've ever had. But we do a lot of spring here. We've done a lot of springs, and I've been lucky enough to go on a sturgeon fishing expedition. Yeah, but that was, oh my goodness, break your back, kill your arms. They're so bloody big. We had to take the boat, pretty much beach it, get out on shore, and try and get this massive lunker in. It was incredible. It was such an incredible experience. I don't think I could do it every day. And then steelhead. We have actually really good steelhead fishing here in BC, which I haven't got to do enough, and I'm hoping to get out this year. Great. But yeah, good times.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of kokanee. We had a cottage up on it's called the Sunshine Coast, and it was a stocked lake. They weren't anything massive, but they were certainly fun and could have a nice pan fry every breakfast just from casting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right off our dock. It was fantastic. I miss it, actually.
Yeah, from what I can gather, my brother's a really big fisherman, and he's really into his carp fishing, especially in the UK. I think that's like one of the better ones to go for.
So I hear. Yeah, that's what I hear from a lot of our Discord. I've seen the conversation about carp. And speaking of which, talking about the UK, I see Crabble Man. We need a canal map. Some of UK waters and wells catfishing carp. There's the carp. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
We have talked a little bit about canal fishing and whether or not we could do anything along those lines. Because in terms of it, like my fishing experience, most of mine comes from canal fishing because I've lived within like 200 meters of a canal most of my life. And when I was a kid, used to occasionally go down and fish in the canal. So yeah, it'd be something I'd love to do, but we don't quite know where we're going next. Norway has been a fantastic, obviously, location to add to the game, but we're trying to work out where's our next destination and what fish do we go out and catch there. So that's going to be fun. So we definitely want to see your suggestions, by the way, in Discord for future locations and the fish species you want to be catching next.
I thought you were going to let something slip there. I'm like, oh, should I hover over the mute? Nah. That is pretty cool. That is a big conversation. If you guys aren't involved, definitely get into the Discord. There's a whole suggestion forums. And I mean, if you're like me, you can just pour over it and spend hours reading what everyone's suggesting. There's some fantastic ones in there. But more importantly, as you just heard from the man himself, the team monitors that. So if you want to get your voice heard, that's what you got to do. Get into Discord, drop something in suggestions, and let other anglers throw their comments on it too. But you mentioned something there, and maybe that's something we can talk a little bit about. So there's a game update coming here in January. You mentioned about the diamond spawn rates, wanting to get a look at, and but there's a few other things you're working on as well. Is there anything more you want to add for the folks?
Yeah, I mean, this January update, I must stress that it's not going to be a huge update. We've just got back from Christmas that we just mentioned, and the main thing is addressing the main kind of pain points, I guess you could call them, from Norway that people have seen over Christmas. So obviously diamond spawning, that's our number one priority in this update. But we also spotted a couple of collision issues in Norway, which were either blocking picking up a collectible, or I think there's a couple of sets of steps which don't have a collision on, so we're getting all those fixed. I believe there was a couple of progression issues in some edge cases on one or two of the missions, so again, getting those fixed up. And we've seen a little bit of cheesing, a little bit of exploiting here and there, and we are looking to try and remedy those exploits as well to make sure that the scores that you get from your catches are genuine rather than trying to cheat the system. So we're going to try and address that. And I think there was a problem with one of the daily and weekly challenges to do with the asp in Norway. So again, we're going to fix up. And there's a few other little bug fixes here and there, I think, due to go in this patch. But we're in that process now of just kind of getting all the fixes together, and hopefully we'll have a date and give you a full update on when it's coming out and exactly what's in it very soon.
Very nice. Very nice. There you go, my friends. There we go. Something there. That's exciting. That's exciting. And I think people understand, just back from a Christmas break, can't expect this huge, massive update. But the fact that we're keeping on top of the stuff like that, I know it's greatly appreciated. So good stuff. Good stuff. What was that? I was hoping to see what it was you caught. I missed it on the screen.
Oh, it was a juvenile Atlantic salmon. I was hoping to get something a little bit bigger. It felt a little bit bigger. It was probably at least a bronze, but obviously not.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oh, what do we say here? Hello to Nebraska. Hello. The Great Lakes in the USA. Oh, we're throwing down ideas. Lake Michigan. Yeah. Finger Lake region full of fishing areas. Yeah, Great Lakes would be pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. There is not a release date yet for consoles, my friend. As we mentioned earlier, as soon as we have something that we can actually offer a date, we will. Fish markers once visited. Okay. Well, hey, right on. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff happening, my friends. Now, I know there's more planned. I don't really know if you can talk too much about it, but there's a big update that the team will be working on. Is there any little teasers we can put out there?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. Obviously, none of this is locked in. There's no date set. But obviously, once we've got this kind of smaller patch out the way, sometime during January, hopefully towards the end of Feb, maybe March, we're bringing our next big update out. And this one in particular, what we've tried to focus on is looking at community requests. You know, what are the main suggestions, and what are the main other pain points and areas where people want kind of quality of life improvement. So we really want to kind of tackle a lot of the kind of the headline issues and, you know, kind of up the overall quality of things across the board.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So I can give a couple of examples of the things we're working on. Again, I can't promise that these things will be in that patch because dev is very fluid. We might run into other issues. We might choose to prioritize something over one other thing depending on what happens. But these are things we're actively working on because we're always spinning a dozen plates here and there because we're always thinking about the update beyond that. But we're definitely not talking about that. But yeah, there's a couple of things. I know that there's been a number of comments about the 4x4 and how it can make you feel a bit motion sick because obviously it's a big world. You do plenty of traveling, and not everyone feels comfortable, you know, speeding around the bumpy roads. So we're working on improving the camera so that it kind of minimizes the motion sickness. And actually, we had one dev on the team who, whenever he went in a Jeep, he was motion sick. So he's been playing the latest builds of the game that we've got with that fixing, and it's feeling really good. He feels a lot better. That's cool. And we're also working on improving some of the collision behaviors as well, because a lot of people complain about snagging on things and branches getting in the way. So we're looking at making sure it's a smoother ride as well in general, so you can just traverse the world much more painlessly.
That'd be greatly appreciated, I'm sure. I mean, I personally haven't had issues with it. I don't really get motion sick, but you got a live model to test on. That's fantastic.
Yes, he's not like testing it, but now he's in a good shape. He's really happy.
Yeah, maybe not so good for him. Oh goodness. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting times because I know that's been something I've seen it here and there. You know, some folks they found a way. Some folks found a way to look down on the car, but I think that was in the very beginning at launch. That's changed since then.
You were able to do what? Sorry.
There was a way that they were looking down on the vehicle. There was something at launch that was
a different camera view.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we are looking to bring as well, though, is additional camera views. So we're looking to, on both the Bolt and the 4x4, add a few different options for you to toggle between, so you can, you know, not just move around from a first-person perspective on the vehicles. Again, haven't locked in what camera views they are, exactly how that all works. This is all in progress, but again, we've heard your feedback. We know not everyone likes to drive from first person, so we're going to try and add some additional options there.
Very nice. Very nice. Something that I've had, I see around the community, I've had some people just recently message me about it. And of course, I couldn't say much. And I was hoping maybe you could put something out there. You know, with the addition of the emotes in the game, we've been able to communicate, you know, in quite funny scenarios with other players and such. But there's plans, I do believe. Maybe you want to elaborate on those a little bit. What we have coming down the pipe and more ways to communicate.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about, you know, well, the feedback from the emotes and the activity feed and the ability to send those quick messages. One of the annoying things right now, which you may have seen on screen, when those messages pop up, they come in one at a time. Which means they can often get messages queued up and it's difficult to see what's going on. So we're already in the process of changing that to a more traditional style chat feed, which will allow you to see kind of multiple entries at once. And we're also investigating bringing text chat as well to that at some point. Again, that probably won't be the next update, but it is something that we're looking into because, you know, people want more ways to communicate. Not everyone is on Discord, and obviously if you meet someone random in the server, you want to be able to communicate better with them. So we're going to try and work that in, and we're also looking into, you know, more quick chat phrases, more emotes potentially down the line. So we're trying to give you, you know, as many tools as possible, and make it a little easier to talk with people that you don't know in the game.
Well, those, yeah, honestly, the emotes have been a whole lot of fun. But I really do like the thought of that as well, having other ways to be able to chat. That's pretty cool. I'm glad the team's working on that. Again, folks, remember, this is all very loose conversation right now. You're kind of getting the inside skinny. See how it turns out. I mean, some of these things may or may not make it in, and we certainly can't hold Rushy to it for giving us a little inside skinny. Whoa, look at that looker.
Yeah, someone caught one.
Yeah, that was awesome. No, I just watching him just come right out of the water in front of me there. I'm zoomed in on the to look at the line. That was like perfect timing. Paid actor. Totally a paid actor.
Yeah, well, I would say as well is although not all of this might make it into that patch, we are actively working on all of this. So if it doesn't make it into this next patch or the one after that, it'll definitely be ones in the future. But we just want to make sure it's, we've done all the testing, it's correct, it's right, and it's good enough to go out live, because we want to ensure quality as well.
Gotcha. Good to know. Very good to know. So I see there's a chat here. So now I haven't had any issues with this, but Tryhard says he'd like to see some optimization of graphics, some render latency, zooming where he's going in. I know that there's plans of looking at different ways to optimize, different performance optimizations. Anything we can tell the folks about that?
Yeah, this is absolutely an area that we're starting to focus on now. We've seen the feedback on kind of recommended spec or lower in particular. We've seen like comments that the frame rate isn't ideal, and we agree it's not as optimal as it could be. So we've got a number of kind of key areas that we're going to be tackling over the course of the next couple of months to kind of improve the performance, because we know that everyone on a 30, 60 plus are absolutely fine, but we want to make sure that as many people as possible can play the game as smoothly as possible. So we're definitely going to be doing some optimization. We want to make sure it runs smoother and faster for more people. So again, I wouldn't expect it to suddenly run twice as fast, say, in the next update or two, but we'll probably tackle this in a kind of more iterative way, where one update we'll see a bunch of improvements in these areas, and then the next one, again, working towards continual optimization. But it's definitely something we are working on.
Very nice. Oh, that's good to hear. I hope that helps. I saw your comment there, and I thought, I know there was something you worked on, so we appreciate this kind of info. And it's, as you guys know, as the game develops and as the direction moves. Oh, look at that! Did you land right on that fish? Did too. Is he getting a bite right there? Thought we were about to see something kind of neat, seeing that in a outside perspective.
They're all jumping in front of me, but none of them are going for the bait, which is really annoying.
I hear you. How much fish I have to fish so I can win money? So that happens. It's an interesting structure, actually. It kind of promotes progression. You don't get paid per fish, but you get paid at the 25, 50, and 75% and on level. So that's of your levels, and then when you hit level, you'll make money all the way through. So it does give you a continuous flow of credits. I actually, when it first came out, there was a lot of question about that. People thought, well, why aren't I getting paid for this fish and that catch? Because it's a catch and release. I would imagine, gentlemen, that's why the design was to put it in that, which I think is a good idea, right? And because we're not.
That was exactly the reason. Yeah, we wanted to reward you XP for every positive action that you do, but then obviously it was only at thresholds within your leveling bar you would earn some currency, some more credits. However, we have seen some feedback that it's not always as clear as it needs to be, and we are looking at doing some progression overhauls, especially because we've seen some players reach ridiculously high levels and play for a serious number of hours, and they've got too many credits they don't know what to do with them. So we're working on ways already to try and give you more things to do with your money, and maybe some additional currencies and things that you can spend it on as well. So I want to see over the course of this year quite a lot of improvements to progression systems and the way they work to kind of give you more things to do, more things to work towards. Expect quite a few changes in those areas, but I wouldn't expect anything necessarily for the kind of next update or two.
There you go. Very cool. Did you see what just happened to me? I had something that was
No.
way too big on my line. Like, there was nothing I could do. It completely snapped my line. And I'm really sad. That's like, there's a story now is going to happen, the one that got away, right?
Yeah, I've got a big one on my line now. I'm hopeful I'm going to be able to tire it out, but it is getting close to getting spooled now. So
yeah,
we'll see.
This thing just pulled me apart. It was a big fish. That's right, Bucko. It really was. What is the max level? That is honestly one of my favorite features of this game. There is no max level. You could, if you were a fanatic fisherman and you wanted those bragging rights, you could push your level to sky's the limit. It was one of the things when we first announced this game and the first chance I got to get in and take a look at it, that excited me. It did, because let's face it, in our other IP, you max out at a certain level 60. That's it. Here you continue. You just get to grow and grow and grow and become the massive fisherman. World renowned. Fishing tournaments would be great, and that is something the team has talked about, looking at some sort of a competition structure. But really, Freak Frag, if you're interested, we do currently have a weekly competition called King of the Catch in our Discord. Come and get involved. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of people out there that are absolutely slaying some monsters. It changes every week what the target species is. This week has been bluegill, so jump on in, check it out, come and join us. Can't confirm. Full of beautiful hours of fishing, game, riddle, challenge, yes, and I think that's one of the things that I have to say to both of you gentlemen, I always thought was very cool. I've played all the fishing games out there, and there's some great ones. One of the things I think that really sets us apart is that open world and that feeling of exploring. First day I played this, I just wanted to see the world, and I can't say I've ever done that in a fishing game. I just wanted to go and explore and get into all the different areas. I haven't been able to do that yet on Norway. Yeah, kudos. I can't wait to see what else we have down the line and getting more opportunities to do that. And seeing it's appreciated obviously by our community here. Thank you for that. It's a good comment. Thank you.
Yeah, because I think part of the thrill isn't just landing a good catch, but it's finding good locations inside the world to go fishing, and then potentially sharing that knowledge as well with other people that this is a great spot to go and catch this fish or that fish, and learning the world inside out, so you know where to go to catch the biggest catches. But we are trying to make sure we kind of mix things up. We might potentially do some overfishing elements to the game. So if you keep fishing in the same area, you might need to move on. And of course, we've already got our legendaries, which are in Golden Ridge right now, which aren't always spawned in the same place, as they rotate through the three legendaries that each time they'll be in a new spot. So you've got to go on the hunt afresh.
Can I ask, just because you brought it up, do we have plans to add more legendary fish?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Oh,
Stories and all.
I'll tell you, if you boys saw it, the excitement that was in Discord when the legendary first came out, people were torn because Norway came out. They're like, I want to go fish Norway. Mm-hmm. Right, but then the allure for the legendaries, and I've heard they're just absolutely some of the best fights currently in game. If you guys haven't tried it, you should be in the Discord, because you need to locate them, and that's where the teamwork really, really comes in. It's something else.
Yeah. And actually, I think there was one minor issue, I think, with Sidewinder in terms of his spawning. I think he was spawning too close to surface. So in the next smaller game update, that will be addressed. So Sidewinder will be harder next time you go and fight him.
He was hard to find, too. Oh, jeez, look at that. That's WinZip coming up. Yeah, he was hard to find. The community really came together on that one. It was cool to watch, right? People were out there. I'm checking here, I'm checking there, and when it first came up, that it's just droves, everybody heading out. But yeah, I did hear that he was floating to the surface, which I actually heard people thought was kind of cool to see him like that, floating up top. Kind of neat. Jaxy, please tell the team the game is awesome. Hey team, the game's awesome.
Ah, thank you.
I got you, Freak Frag. Oh, goodness. Awesome news for legendaries. Yes, yes. Now, obviously, there's not much they can say right now, but just the fact that there's more thought out and planned out, that's pretty cool. Oh, where are we at here? Trying to go through chat while not giving away too much here. So let me ask you another question. Another thing that I've kind of been seeing a little bit is a lot of talk about bait. A lot of talk about baits and what can be used where. And I know I've seen some things happening at work. As far as the bait compatibility and such, I've seen a little chatter. Anything you want to tell the folks? Like, what are we thinking in regards to bait?
Yeah, we've got Danny in the design team kind of focusing on this right now. And he's been pulling together like a master sheet of new baits, new lures, and things that we want to add in the future. Building kind of a massive compatibility chart and working closely with some of our keen anglers and even some of our community members to kind of cross-reference and check things and look for how best to ensure that each of the baits and lures are behaving exactly as you would expect to in real life. So we're definitely doing a bit of an overhaul in that area, and as well as expanding what you're going to be able to use as well down the line. So again, it's largely come from feedback. We've seen people complaining about this bait shouldn't be able to catch this fish, or some instances where we've either set up a couple of values wrong, and we're going to definitely fix those issues and give you more options and more tools ultimately in the future in this area. So yeah, we're pleased to be working on this. It's an opportunity now. We've got no way out. We can kind of focus more on the core of the game now. Focus a lot on the fishing.
Very nice. Very good to hear. Yeah, it's making it more that authentic experience is a real big drive for the team. I know I appreciate that. And a lot of the community too. Yeah, it seems a lot of this, and as you folks are probably seeing, if first off, if you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you with us. I would highly recommend joining our Discord. It is well, you could say means to an end. If you want to be in contact with the community, if you want to be able to put your suggestions out there, but we are community driven, and there's it's a community focused push on everything that we do. This update that we're talking about, you've mentioned it yourself, Rushy. It's looking at the feedback and balancing with the game, and how you want to go about this. Is this the process as this unfolds? How do you is there something that you would want from the community? Is there what are your thoughts on this? Community focus.
Yeah, well, I think the Discord is definitely the best place to leave its feedback on this approach, because what we've been able to do is obviously we set up that suggestions channel, the bugs channel, and then people can leave comments on individual suggestions, but also upvote them. So what we've been doing, we've been kind of scouring those channels, putting them all into spreadsheets, looking at the most popular ones, and trying to work out which ones are viable versus which ones will have most impact, and which ones we can do in tandem, and where we can try and bring them forwards into the game. So yeah, we've been using that feedback a lot. I mean, Discord isn't the exclusive place. We do look at Steam reviews, we're on Twitter, Facebook, etc., and we're kind of gathering all that information together. Obviously, we've got our own ideas and things that we want to bring into the game as well, and it's trying to balance that with what everyone's asking for and the sort of plans we have for the future. But this next bigger update towards the end of February, early March, that this is largely community driven. I don't think there's anything in there that we planned. It was always the case of, right, we're taking this suggestion, this bug, and we're taking this piece of feedback, and we're trying to get them into the game.
Yeah, and that's always going to be our focus. I think if the communities want something enough, and it's like we have the viability to do it, and we've got the lead time and stuff like that, then absolutely we're going to prioritize it, because ultimately what the community wants is what we want to focus on.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's a pleasure for me to be a part of this and seeing how you guys do communicate and take what the community says. That's pretty incredible. Go ahead. Yes, by all means.
I was going to say, and one of those pieces of feedback which we've already addressed and will be coming in one of these updates is how the camera behaves when you're fishing as well. We've seen a lot of people not entirely happy with the fact it kind of blends between the fish and the rod. we've seen some people want the camera move 1-to-1 with the movement of the rod, and other people want the camera to stay focused on the fish during the whole fight. So we're adding the options. We're actually giving you a slider essentially to choose, how the camera locks onto the fish or the rod. So giving you the control to, tailor the fishing experience now to how you like it. So hopefully we'll please everyone there then.
Wow. That's impressive. I know you guys have been talking about a lot of things that the community's fed out there, like there's new accessibility options. You want to talk a little bit about that too? That's going to be exciting because I've seen a lot of conversation around this.
Yeah, I think quite a few of these are in particular when fighting the legendaries. There's one where obviously people's fingers are getting fatigued, holding down reel for a long period of time, or if you like the jigging and twitching techniques, having to manually move the mouse or move the gamepad analog stick to replicate those motions, it can become a little bit tiresome or fatiguing over time. So we're adding in options again. You can play it as it is right now if you want, but there'll be an option to toggle reel on and off, so you can just tap a button to turn it on, tap a button to turn off the reel, and there'll be options to hold down buttons to perform jigging and twitching. So again, just giving you lots of little tools to kind of to tailor and customize the experience to how you want to play it.
Okay, that's exciting. I got to be honest, being able to change and the jigging and twitching buttons. I understand that. I quite like it, but I have seen the conversation, and if maybe your hands getting a little cramped up and you got another option, it's options. We like options as gamers. We like to have different ways to do the same thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's we've seen a lot of that, whereby it's not always all players want it this way. It's a lot of time this feature people actually we're seeing people who are more casual, let's say, and people who are more hardcore fishermen, and we want to make sure that we're kind of tailoring to both crowds. We don't want to kind of force the game to, force you to play this way or that way. It's kind of like, no, actually you can have the freedom to play it in your own way. And we've been, when we have done that in the past with previous options, it's been really pleasing to see, both crowds ultimately pleased with what we're doing.
And I think that's what it comes down to. If you can make both sides happy, holy, that's because that's really hard to do. Wow. Chat, you guys, you're all incredible, and I thank you all. I see so many things, and I don't know which one to ask. I don't know which way to go. I obviously some of these questions, I don't know that there's a lot that could be said. I see questions of tackle box. For one, tackle box, great idea. I don't know if that's something that you could really even talk about, that sort of future game design.
I'm presuming tackle box in the sense that people want to be able to carry more things
more
around.
Storage.
Yeah. That's definitely something we have heard, and it becomes a pain point. Reasonably early on in the game when you're trying to explore the world and you're running out of bait, or you haven't got the gear on you, you're having to fast travel back. So we definitely want to make changes to the storage and your inventory in the future as well, because we want to make sure that you can either unlock or purchase or do more things inside the game to give yourself again more tools like a tackle box or something along those lines. Again, we haven't locked in the plans on this yet, but it is definitely one of those things that's been raised as a flag within the community, and it's definitely something that our design team are looking into and want to resolve.
And there you go, guys. So that's a perfect example. Community involvement. If you go into Discord and you go into the forums with the game suggestions, you're going to find exactly that. And so the process, so you guys understand, is when our team's looking through, they're reading each and every one, but you have the ability to upvote with the use of emotes so they can see how popular these ideas are. It's just such a great way to be able to put that out there. So yeah, suggestions like that, Balloon Bee, jump on into Discord and lend some weight to it, my friend.
Yeah, that upvote thing in particular is really useful for us, because you don't have to go in there knowing what you want. You can just look through the list of existing suggestions and pick the ones that mean most to you. It's like, oh yeah, I'd love this, I'd love that. Just give it another thumbs up, and it really makes a difference in terms of raising its visibility to us.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's handy, and I like to go through. I'm guilty of clicking on some of them too because you guys have some great ideas.
Yeah, I've clicked a couple too. just biasing which things I want.
No doubt, no doubt. Oh, the community, look, they keep clicking on this one. There's 4 accounts of your own name there, Rushy.
Rushy 1, Rushy 2, Rushy 3, Rushy 4.
Scary Stall says, thank you for taking the time out of your day to keep us updated. Appreciate it. I'm with you on that. These gentlemen are crazy busy. As you hear everything that they're talking about, that they're bringing to us, that they're working on, that they're planning, and yet they still find the time each week to come out and to join us all here and to be able to give you this info instead of, just some bearded guy telling you what I found out. So I personally am with Chad on this one. I appreciate you guys coming out every week. Thank you.
Always a pleasure to come and chat with everybody. It's a fun little break, if anything, from work.
I can imagine. Yeah, you guys are going pretty crazy over there. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. That puts out the wrong impression. But I know you guys are busy.
Yeah, working hard. Working hard. That's the best way to describe it. Focused and just eager to try and get as much into each new update. But yeah, we don't do crunch or anything like that. It's a good place to work at Avalanche. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are pretty good. Well, let me ask you this, actually. Speaking of working and keeping busy, do you get to take much time to jump into game and to throw your line in the water as a group?
As a group? Oh, yeah. Every week we have like a team-wide playtest, which is essentially looking at the latest features and things that we're adding to the game, and we're asking everyone to play this new feature and give feedback on it, because not everyone gets to work on a feature all the time, because you've got people in different departments, design, art, code, graphics, etc. But you want the whole team's feedback. So we get everyone together, all play the latest build, and QA, organize, triage all the feedback and issues, and then we iterate on things, because, we want everyone to play the game and, make sure the team enjoy it too.
Yeah, I personally, in terms of, I jump onto the live game, probably every weekend for an hour or two, just to play naturally as the users are playing as well, or
Nice.
you guys are playing, just to make sure it fits, because obviously when you're in the throngs of development, sometimes you can miss there's a difference between a development build and a live build, so it's good to make sure that we've got both fair perspectives on it as well.
I it's unfair of me to put that out there, folks. I know they do the play testing. I wanted you all to know that they're out there playing the game. It's unfair. I don't have a good poker face, right?
No, a lot of the time it's actually my kid who plays the kind of live game a lot of the time the most, because since I started working on fishing game, he's got obviously very interested in this, and he's keen to play it whenever he can. But then again, Minecraft does get in the way a little bit. But yeah, he really enjoys playing it.
Nice. So
yeah, it's fun to watch as well. Watching younger kids play the game and see what pain points there are, because they're not as familiar with games, and you can kind of see some bits. I didn't think of that.
They're not as nice with their feedback either as well. So.
Oh no, they're brutal sometimes.
Brutally honest. Love it.
Yeah.
God bless those kids. Oh, oh my goodness. Did y'all get together at once to ask that? They're asking about a trophy room. But now that's a tough one, you guys. Have a seat. Rushy, I don't know if you want to. That's such a tough one. You've been asked this so many times, and we know it's an ask, but.
Oh yeah, and I think I said before, we'd love to add it. And that's not to say we won't or we will, but it's definitely something we've heard the feedback on, and I would love to do it. We just need to work out a good solution for our game and the best way to do it. So it's definitely one of those long-term features that we're considering, and we're trying to work out the best fit for the angler. So I hope in the long term we can bring some of those lines, because I'd absolutely love to be able to display my biggest catches in some capacity. So yeah, again, that's definitely a watch this space. And we'll hopefully, if you've got some good ideas that might influence, what we do and how we approach it.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna snap. I can't even. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just gonna add in and say, like, we know how successful the Hunter Trophy Lodge was, so we understand like how much the community love that and want that. But like Rishi says, we need to make sure it's right for our game.
It has to fit. Exactly. There's been some pretty good suggestions. I've heard everything from aquarium to even 3D printed, I guess, is becoming a thing nowadays, where people are getting their trophies 3D printed, stuffed and mounted. It'd be interesting to see what the team's take is on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many different approaches we could take.
Yeah.
So it's great that we're starting with lots of options, and we just need to narrow it down to work out the best fit. But I think whatever approach we go down, I definitely want to make it as social as possible, so that you can easily step into other people's lodges, aquariums, or whatever it may be, and check out their catches too, in some sort of seamless fashion. So you're not having to go to a list and then load it up and jump into it. So there may be other solutions we come up with. So yeah, I think it will be cool if we can manage it.
I think it would be cool too. I hear what you're saying. It has to be the right fit. It absolutely has to be. So there you go, chat. There you go. It's a hard question to answer, because I know a lot of you're asking it, but I figured we better address it.
Because there's probably 1,000 things we could do. That's the challenge with this sort of live game development, is that there's so many ways we could go, and it's trying to pick the direction, choose the focus, and make sure that we're pleasing as many people as possible. So it's tough sometimes, because you're like, yeah, that'd be great, but it's like, but we've also got 10 other features already in development, and we can't spin another plate at the same time. So just be rest assured we're kind of doing as much as we can at any one time.
We're gonna need an emo chat of Rushy spinning plates, because you've said that a few times, and it's putting a mental image in my head. Oh goodness, it is worth talking about. Yes, it certainly is. Fly fishing, oh goodness, bottom fishing. See it popping up here. These are all things that the team is very aware of. The community asked for it, and I think it would really come down to, as Rushy and Steven have just said, about how it needs to be the right fit. It would have to work properly. That's something that would be, I'm sure, a consideration at some point. Anything is possible at this stage, right?
Yeah, but fish takes are high up on that list though. Yeah. We recognize that they're giving you more tools to fish in more ways. It offers such a great amount of value to the game, because you can go back to old reserves and fish in a completely different way. So we definitely want to bring more techniques to the game. Again, can't say when, don't want to say which ones just yet, but we're definitely going to be working on more techniques.
I understand. Okay, I'll ask. Are there any plans to be able to move on shore when you have a fish hooked?
That has been discussed. Yes, because we're aware that other fishing games, I won't name which ones, allow you to move around whilst on foot, whilst fishing. We'd like to do it, but it's not an easy one for us because of the way we approached our tech and the way we set things up. So it's going to require a little bit of re-engineering to do it. That's not to say we won't do it or will do it, but it's something that I'd like to be able to do that, because it's a valid technique to be able to move closer to the shore or move down along with a fish to make the catch easier. So it would be a cool thing to do, and it's again that was on our list. Not necessarily at the top, but it's definitely one I'd like to be able to do.
Very nice. I wasn't sure. I'm like, should I ask this one? I'm like, I'm gonna waylay him with it, but yeah. I have seen it as a conversation, and yeah, it's nice to be able to put that out there. I kind of figured that was going to be the response, because it is something that you would have to completely redo the way it works, right? I mean, that's a big ad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It definitely is. Oh, what happened, Steve? Snap your line.
Well, no, I didn't stop my line. I got a juvenile, which was like annoying. But there was a really big Atlantic salmon which went for it, and then just as I was about to hook it, it went away, and then a smaller one came in, and it was just a bit disappointing in general.
I mean, it looks okay from here. That would fill a pad, no problem. Oh.
I mean, I'd eat it, but it's not really it was a juvenile, so it's not ideally what I was looking for.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm
Sorry
getting
about that.
spooled. I'm getting completely spooled here with everything I'm pulling on, man. And the last one, I'm like, oh, right on. Okay, it's not going straight to the snap. Oh no, it's just running me out. I had I've restarted, my friends. As many of you know, I love to do this in games. I've restarted, and I haven't had a chance since our break really to get into the fishing. I plan on doing some this week, and so yeah, I'm working on my gear a little bit right now. We are well, thank you. Is there much UK carp in the game? Well, we're in Norway at the moment, and I advise checking out the species and seeing what you think. We don't have a UK map yet, at any rate. I mean, I figure that could be something possibly down the line. Oh, look at this. We got a fight right in front of us. Oh, wow, that was kind of cool. Oh, can I actually zoom in? I gotta... No. Sorry, little distracted. Steven's got he's got a fish on the line right now. He's got a good little fight going over here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too strong, but we'll see what I can do.
Give it some time. There's always the chance that you might be able to wear it down a little bit, tire it out.
It's sticking around 30 meters, so it's not going too much further. Oh, it's all right. Never mind. It's gone up to 40. Never mind. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Are you guys happy
Never
with
give
the
up.
current bite spawn rate? You haven't caught anything recently on the stream. Now, part of that is I'm level 4. And I'm out here with the boys who've been pulling the fish in. I would say, I mean, the bite, I see a lot of people catching a lot of fish. I don't know that needs adjusted. Spawn rate, I know Rushy talked a little bit. They're not quite happy with the diamond spawn rate, although it's possible. It's just not quite where they want it yet. I don't know if that helps, Coat and Jaw, if that answers your question a little. What do you think, Rushy? You got something to...
Well, as you mentioned, we're not happy with the diamonds in Norway specifically, but we do have tons of data on how long it takes from the point where the bait hits the water or the lure hits the water to get a nibble, to how long each fish fight is, the exact spawn rates for all the fish, where they spawn, how frequently they spawn. We've been closely monitoring this, and at the moment in Golden Ridge in particular, I think we're fairly happy with the spawn rates over there. I think that's got a nice balance on the whole. Potentially, we might want to make the dams a little harder over there. But on average, I think most people, well, on average, this is the data. Within 30 seconds, most people get a bite, typically, if you're using the right gear. I think that the edge case is, I think it can be frustrating if you're going to the wrong locations, using the wrong gear, then you can be stood around for quite a while, casting and hoping and catching nothing because you're just using the wrong gear in the wrong area. So that's definitely an area where I'd like to do more to help give you the players more information, tell you maybe if you're in a particular area for a while, you're not getting any bites, give you some clues or give some hints on the fly to actually let you know this is actually a good spot to use this bait, or go for this type of fish, and this is the sort of gear you should be using. So I definitely want to make things easier so you have the knowledge, so you're armed to go out and catch the fish that you want, because I think it can be frustrating when you don't know what to use and where to use it. But on the whole, once you know that, the actual spawn rates and catch times are actually fairly quick.
Oh, on that.
Oh, you got another one on?
Maybe.
Look at this. Turn around,
Yeah,
boys. See, look at that sunset going down right here. That's just... Wow. Sorry. I'm getting distracted by the scenery again. What's the average player level? Is that tracked as well? Would be fun to be able to throw some stats out there, hey? Some random stats from last year since launch. Average player level?
We do have some of that data, definitely. Maybe it's something we can talk to our marketing friends about, and we can throw a lot of stats and data at them, and they can maybe share some of that with the community. Because there's some fun stuff inside there. Just seeing how many fish get caught each day.
Yeah.
I know we've had millions upon millions of fish caught, which is always very satisfying to see. But it might be good to try and break it down per species to show off the most popular catches and
Yes.
You know, which are the rarest diamonds, for example, and yeah, we could do all sorts of stuff with that. Yeah, it would be nice to share that if we could.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should. That would be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I see. Wow. Really, Steven?
Mine's not again.
He's level 334. I'm curious. I'm curious what the highest level currently in game is.
I'd have to check the data because obviously it's live and I haven't checked it recently. But he's pretty high. That's in the top 1%. Absolutely, that sort of figure above anything above 100 is top 5% comfortably. So
wow.
I seem to recall there being someone 450 around there, that's a lot of hours. I think we did some quick maths, and you needed to have been playing the game for 8 hours a day to reach that level since launch. So yeah, we definitely got some committed fans out there.
Yeah, certainly do. Certainly do. That's crazy. 334. That brings us back to what we talked about earlier, my friends. I love the fact that there's no cap on your level because you can really identify the hardcore fisherman. It's kind of cool.
Got another juvenile after losing one on the line. It's not a good day. Sorry, carry on.
No, you're quite all right. I can't pull anything in on mine. I just keep spooling out.
It's the problem with Atlantic salmon. They're fairly chunky boys a lot of the time. So even like a juvenile, we're talking a couple of kilograms often. So might want to start looking at if you got any smaller hooks, so that you're kind of ruling out the bigger ones. You might have more luck.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, let me take a look and see what I've got. I try and drop all the way to a 10.
The question of will you actually get any bites at 10?
I know, but I've only got a 6, a 5, and a 10 on me so far. I'll throw it in and give it a shot.
And this comes back to that conversation before about tackle box and being able to carry a bit more gear with you, because this is the sort of situation where you just want a few more things, especially those smaller items in your arsenal. Because at the moment, I think the inventory it's a fixed 30 slot, but that is for anything, irrelevant of what size they are. So we definitely want to make sure you can carry more of what's useful to you and things you might want to switch out on the fly like that. So you find out like your size 5 hook isn't working for you because you just you're landing too big a catches, then hopefully we can give you more options, and you can switch it up on the fly rather than needing to go back to the store.
Yeah, it'd be pretty handy. Storage in even in the boats and in the Jeep and stuff would be a pretty cool addition as well, I think.
Yeah, that is a cool idea.
Yes. Oh, so I do see the question. Now, we talked about this earlier, Bucko. In Norway right now, team's not happy with the spawn rate on the diamonds. They are very elusive at the moment. It's possible, but it's very elusive. And yeah, we haven't really seen anything happening with it in Discord. But there is that chance. But that's the sort of thing that the team is wanting to address this next update. The game update that's coming sometime in January is the plan.
Yep.
Again,
definitely during January.
Yeah,
we're looking fairly confident for that one right now. We're just not give a date. Normally, as I'm sure you've seen, we've rolled out over a dozen patches now, and that we tend to give you a little bit of a heads up. Then we post the patch notes along with it, and you don't have too long to wait normally after we've kind of said they're okay. Well, we're good to go.
Oh, we've seen that already. I mean, it was fast and furious with all the updates since launch. It's been hard to keep up. So, yeah, you guys have lots to look forward to. Absolutely. Is the Norway map more graphic intensive than Golden Ridge Reserve?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. So this is where we've seen some of the comments about performance. Not being fantastic. What we've found is that, in particular in Norway, there's a lot more trees visible at once. A lot more. Like we're talking thousands of trees in any one shot. Where the density of the forests in Golden Ridge were anywhere near that what they are in Norway. And there's a couple of other little factors as well. One or two of the water bodies are bigger here in Norway as well. So again, these are definitely areas that we do want to optimize. And we do want to improve the performance of the game, not just for Norway. Norway is definitely not quite as quick as Golden Ridge is, but we want to do game-wide optimizations.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, and you were talking about that. That's the sort of thing you're looking to target for the big update that's coming. So that's exciting.
Mhm.
It's exciting. I mean, not everybody's playing on a 3080 Ti or a 4080, and the team here is that, my friends, as you can see. So yeah, they're working on it. Definitely working on it. I can't believe it. That's an hour? Are you kidding me?
Time flies when you have fun.
Yeah, well, it's good conversation. You're like, all I'm missing is a foldable lawn chair and a beer. I had to throw it out there. It's been a while. The foldable lawn chair daily request. Oh, yes, absolutely.
We still haven't forgotten about that.
Yep.
We've got plans.
The impact of community, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's what drives us, my friends. And if you haven't gotten involved, make sure to give us a follow across all the socials. You can find us absolutely everywhere these days. And if you really want to get involved, come and join us in the Discord. There's a link directly off the main page on the news feed in the game itself. It tells you the focus that the team here that I'm with today has on your voice. Make sure to come and join us. Come and join us as well next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be out for another live stream. I don't know who we're going to have yet, but it's going to be a good time with some informative stuff, and we'll see where we end up. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and taking the time out of your days. I know it's later there today, so thank you very, very much.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure to come on the streams.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for this, Jasky. Really good.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys rock. Thank you so much, chat. We'll catch you guys again very soon, and we'll see you in the Discord. Until next week, catch you later.